TRCL will extend their services. Train services will to Lowell will be extended to transport passengers across the border. It will also help divert passengers from coach services. The acting chief secretary will convene a coordinating meeting on border control point arrangements and coordinating arrangements for the different mode of transport. Details will be announced later. Within a very short time, we have reached a consensus with the Shenzhen authorities. The process has been smooth. I would like to thank the leadership of Guangdong Province and Shenzhen Municipal Government and the work of different departments. It shows that we and the Shenzhen side have seen eye to eye in a lot of things, including the experience of visitors of the two sides over the Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is very important. We work very hard to make sure that you will feel the joy over the festive days. In 2 days, on Thursday, I will attend the Let's Go Chief Executive Interactive Question and Answer session. I would like to make use of this session to explore two topics. One is the promotion of mega event economy, and the other one is legislating for Article 23. We've seen wave after wave of mega events which attract visitors from all over the world to Hong Kong. This enhances Hong Kong's business opportunities and competitiveness. It also brings enormous economic benefits, benefiting different sectors, including the hotel industry and the catering industry, as well as the retail industry. For every 1.5 million visitors, they bring around 0.1 percentage point increase in our gross domestic product. What I'd like to talk to legislators is how the government can work with different sectors to attract more mega events to take place in Hong Kong, what the sectors can do to add value to these events, and how our visitors' experience can be enhanced so that more visitors will be attracted to come to Hong Kong. We would also like to talk about how the sectors can turn patronage into spending. I will listen to the views of legislators. On the second topic, that is legislation for Article 23 of the Basic Law, the government will, as soon as possible, complete the legislative procedure. We want to complete our constitutional duty that has been outstanding for 26 years. National security is the best safeguard for Hong Kong people's well-being and our economic development. I would talk to legislators about what we need to do to respond to the ever-changing risks to national security, how we can make sure that Article 23 is forward-looking and an effective and become an effective tool in handling new risks. In fulfilling our constitutional duty, how Hong Kong can deal with the interface and complementarity of the decision made by the National People's Congress on the 28th of May 2020, as well as the interface with the national security law. I will talk to legislators about these issues. I look forward to the positive interaction with legislators. The floor is open for questions. Raise your hand when your name. Please identify your media outlet. Don't ask more than 2 questions, please. On the right-hand side at the back. I'm from Now TV. Well, for Hang Seng Index, it has plummeted to below 15,000 points. What measures do you have to save the security market? Will there be measures to remove the cooling measures completely. What will be your process? Well, previously, there was the announcement that the government will do its work to properly publicize the municipal solid waste charging. But now there is a complete turn of this complete change of decision. How are you, how do you explain that? And could you please elaborate about Article 23? We closely monitor the changes in the securities market, the stock market. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority closely monitors the situation. We think that the market is operating in an orderly manner. We have not identified any abnormalities. We now have high interest rate, an increasingly complex geopolitical situation. There are also uncertainties in terms of transport and logistics. The market may have different reactions towards the upcoming US presidential election. And there are also impacts from international relationships on stock markets. The market itself is sensitive. We will closely monitor it. Regulators think that the market is responding within their expectations. Hong Kong is an international financial center. We are competitive and attractive. We have a free flow of capital in Hong Kong. Our markets operate with high transparency. We have very sound regulatory regime that meets international standards. And our regimes dovetail with those of the international community. We have a fair, competitive environment. All these are conducive to the operation of financial markets. Financial markets go up and down. That's normal. When there is volatility, we ask members of the public to be extra cautious when they make their investment decisions. Hong Kong is an international financial center. We are robust in many different aspects. We are an international wealth asset management, private wealth management, a center for hedge funds, and we're also a center for international renminbi transaction center. We're also a center for private equity as well. Under the supporting policy of our country, the one country, two systems, as well as the different connect schemes, we have a strong support for the healthy development of our markets. In terms of development of green technology as well as green finance, we have done some work. All our efforts will bring positive effects to our different markets. Mr. Han Deng, the Deputy President of our country, met with the head of the HSBC. He clearly pointed out that the central authorities will strongly support the development of Hong Kong into an international financial center. As I've mentioned, that Hong Kong enjoys many different advantages. I have confidence in the operation of our markets. But I must say that market sentiment is rather sensitive these days. So everyone needs to closely monitor the markets and act with caution. Government departments will closely monitor the changes in the market. Regarding municipal waste charging, the government identifies issues, make decisions, and find new solutions. This is a pragmatic approach adopted by the government. We have postponed the effective date of the charging scheme to the 1st of August. We want to give more time to different quarters of society to better understand the operation details of the scheme. The Environment and Ecology Bureau, EEB, has taken a pragmatic approach. The Bureau uses different ways to explain to the general public about the operation of the schemes. Certain government buildings will start the scheme on a pilot basis first. There will be different trials to test the scheme. I think this is the right direction. Our publicity work will not stop. We'll continue to do more every day. The EEB has made it clear that apart from textual explanation, they will make use of audiovisual aids, say, for example, production of video clips to show the public so that the public can see it being practiced. I think this is the right approach. We'll continue with our work. The publicity work is not just undertaken by the EEB. We will take the publicity to different levels. Say, for example, the Home Affairs Department will also ask the district councils to conduct briefing sessions. We will do our drills, and in the process, we will make improvements. So we will continue with our work. We will step up our work. We will answer public queries. We want the public to know about the actual implementation details of the scheme.
Next question on the left in the middle.
Hong Kong Free Press. From next Monday, the mainland judgments in civil and commercial matters ordinance goes into effect, meaning there can be reciprocal recognition and enforcement of civil rulings by courts in Hong Kong and on the mainland. Nikkei reports that investors are concerned about the city's common law system and what will happen to their holdings. With the Hang Seng slumping to handover era levels, can you reassure investors? Second, last week you told the media to tell a good Hong Kong story, yet city authorities have repeatedly rejected media efforts to tell positive stories about the government. Last year, fire services rejected our request to write a feature story about their vehicles. The police rejected a pitch about the K9 unit. The Lands Department refused to let us meet a government cartographer. The government lab and flying services rejected story ideas. The Drainage Services Department won't let us tour a sewage plant. In fact, a dozen government departments rejected a dozen stories we tried to tell last year. Why is this, and will you instruct your government departments to say yes to media requests?
First of all, about the arrangement of implementing judgments of courts and other jurisdictions in Hong Kong, mainland jurisdiction in Hong Kong, there is a legal process for it to happen. Any judgment from courts in the mainland will first of all have to be registered with the court. And relevant parties who have opinions or any objection can also make their grounds known to court. Court will deal with such applications according to legal principles. That means all these judgments that a particular party wants to have effect in Hong Kong, there will be a legal process for it to be completed and also cleared before it can happen. So the relevant parties' rights and also his opinions and grounds for objection will be heard by court according to legal principle to ensure that they operate within all the legal confines, and there will be a fair process for all the opinions and reasons to be heard. So that is the rule of law, and that is justice ensured in the whole process. In regard to media requests for interviews of government departments every day receive a lot of requests from different medias, and a lot of requests have been granted, and a lot of interviews have been done, as you can see, and in a lot of newspapers, in TV interviews, and as well as in other online forums. So for any media organization to apply for this request, yes, they have to, first of all, indicate what they want to do, so as to ensure that the relevant departments, in according priorities to all these long queues of requests, then they make the right decision. Of course, I will encourage my departments to make as many interviews as possible, but equally, they have to do this at the same time of doing a lot of other functions and services for society. So the right balance has to be struck.
Last question for this morning. On the right, the second journalist on the right. Good morning. I'm from a Hong Kong paper on economics. In Harbin, it's a popular tourist destination. In the 3 days in the new year, the revenue was nearly $6 billion, a record high. You just said that we need further discussions before we can come up with this strategy to attract more mainland tourists. Would that be too late? Is there a better plan? Second question. It's about waste charging. It's now postponed. We don't have the recycling facilities in place. Can you tell us about the recycling facilities? Is there room for cooperation with Shenzhen on recycling facilities? We attach importance to tourism. We take a multi-pronged approach. We have the Hong Kong Tourism Board, the Tourism Commission. Our tourism has been recovering after COVID. Recent figures show we are back to around 55% of our pre-COVID level, and also involves Hong Kong's capacity. We spare no effort in promoting our tourism. In my policy address, I mentioned a blueprint for tourism 2.0. The government talks to stakeholders. We have received good ideas on promoting tourism. Many ideas have been put into practice. That translates into a rise in visitor numbers. Now we have seen rise in visitors from particular places, such as those from the Philippines. Visitors from the Philippines have exceeded pre-COVID levels. It's now at 114% of pre-COVID levels. For those from Thailand, it's now at 104% of our pre-COVID level. So for some places, these visitor numbers have exceeded pre-COVID levels. They come here for different reasons. First, flight numbers. Second, recovery in our capacity. These are factors affecting visitor numbers. The figures are going up in retail and in tourism. That shows we are achieving results in boosting tourism. As we get more of our capacity back, we will see further increases in inbound visitor numbers. We spare no effort in driving tourism. We're working hard on this, and we will keep working hard on this front. In the upcoming interactive Q&A session at LegCo, I will be discussing with lawmakers the events economy. We talk about MICE economy, major events, performances, conventions, other sorts of events. I gave some examples, such as sports competitions, fashion shows hosted by designer brands. These events drive tourism and also catering, hotel, etc. by bringing economic benefits. So on Thursday, I will be discussing with lawmakers tourism and more, and that is driving an events economy. Now, we already have a robust conference economy. Our venues for meetings are already seeing a shortage because of the demand. We need to get visitors here. When visitors are here, they spend. After our visitors return to their home countries, they tell people about their experience in Hong Kong. They talk about the vibrancy, the appeal in Hong Kong. They tell people about Hong Kong as an open place. We hope we can achieve that through promoting an event economy. We want to turn Hong Kong into a magnet. With more major events, Hong Kong can become more appealing, and that will in turn bring more mega events to Hong Kong. So that will translate into a vast multiplier effect. So that's why we will be working hard on promoting this. Now, on municipal solid waste charging. The effective date has been postponed to August 1st. We want to give it more time to familiarize the public about what to do once the scheme takes effect. The bill on solid waste charging has already been passed. So the question is how to execute it. Of course, delivery falls on the shoulder of the government, but we hope the public can cooperate with the government. The government has to ensure it rolls out effective measures, but public cooperation also matters. We need public consensus on the need for a green and hygienic environment. I hope the public can see the need for this solid waste charging. LegCo passed this bill on MSW charging. So the point now is about delivery. It's about the timing of the execution. The government has to implement this scheme because it's a legislative requirement. We want to do our best. New issues may come up during delivery. I hope people can let us know the issues. Executing the scheme is a major undertaking. The scheme affects more than 7 million people. The problems people encounter vary. So as we explain the scheme to people, we will work hard, and we will always strive to do better in promoting and explaining the scheme. We will work hard. But we hope that other stakeholders can also help to familiarize the public with this scheme. It's a scheme that will affect more than 7 million people. It's a scheme that will require a behavioral change. People may think of different problems. An issue comes up, we try to find a solution. That's the pragmatic way to go. And this is what the government is trying to achieve. Now, on recycling, the government is working on this. There are recycling spots across district. At housing estate, we have plans to set up collection points. In fact, some housing estates already have such spots in place. We want to create a green, sustainable, and hygienic environment. The waste charging scheme is there to help reduce waste. Separation and recycling will also help minimize the impact on the environment. We have a long-term goal, and that is waste reduction and recycling, so that we can achieve the goal of zero landfill. It would take sustained effort over a long term to achieve this goal. The government will make the effort, but we also need public understanding. There is a legislative requirement that we need to put this in place. Thank you. That concludes the briefing today. Thank you.